Hi, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Latino Pittsburgh Digital Speaker Series. Today, we have an amazing guest to talk about a great program. We are partnering with Comcast for their RISE program to make sure that we get resources to small Latino businesses and other minority businesses. But we have Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Everybody, this is Michael Rodriguez. He is a Comcast Business Enterprise Account Executive whose focus is to build relationships within the community and introduce growing businesses to Comcast. Michael is also a Marine veteran. Thank you for being here today, Michael.
Thanks, Melanie. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I just want to jump right in. I want to learn a little bit about you first. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your Latino heritage?
Yeah, absolutely. So my father is from Chihuahua, Mexico. He moved up to the Texas area in Houston when he was about 12 years old, and much like a lot of Mexicans that have migrated, it's to be able to send money back or to build a better life here in the United States. And so my father was about both of those things. And he met my mom in Houston, Texas, who is also a Latina. And they met, got married within 3 months, and started making us. So that's a little bit about my Latino heritage, which I'm very proud of. Absolutely.
Oh, well, that is wonderful. We're super happy to have you. Like I said, usually before we dive in, we ask somebody to tell us a little bit about what their Latino heritage means to them in their life and how it's affected their career and personal life. Would you like to share any stories with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that's very true about the Latino heritage is that we invite everyone, whether it's into our homes, into our communities. We'll give you the shirt off our backs. We'll give you the best food that we have. And so with that, and trust is a big thing, family and trust. And so with that, I've taken those elements, if you will, and applied them into my business here with Comcast. And so every relationship that I build, every client that I meet, every prospective client that I meet, I will treat them with the same respect and the same love, if you will, and the same customer service type positioning and becoming, taking that heritage and applying it to the aspects of business and building that trust in the relationship. Because at the end of the day, relationships are very important. It doesn't matter the product that you sell. It doesn't matter, those things come and go. But what matters is who you are as an individual, and whether somebody can trust you or not. And so sometimes food is the best way to do it. And we do that very well within the Latino community.
Absolutely. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Well, Michael, tell me a little bit. So you used to live in Texas and you moved here. What was the difference in culture? You went from somewhere that was very Latino to Pittsburgh, which, while we're growing, we're not known for having Latinos. And just as a little fact for our audience, the Hispanic population in Pittsburgh from 2010 to 2018 grew 170%. That is huge growth. And that's a time when Pittsburgh lost 3%. So, but I know for Michael, that probably means nothing coming from Texas and coming here and being like, you think you have a lot of Latinos? Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, so absolutely. It was definitely a great transition. I saw the opportunity here in PA as a whole. There's a lot of growth, a lot of potential here in central Pennsylvania. And so that was a part of why I moved up here. Now leaving a strong Latino community in Austin, Texas, that was difficult. It was difficult to come up here and not mainly find the food that I'm used to. And so, and to me, honestly, I think that's a great opportunity for some of us that are looking to build a small business or be able to start a small business. And so that's one area I think that can improve. But as far as coming up here, I think Central PA has just been very warm and welcoming. And it's great to see Pittsburgh flourish, especially with the population, Melanie, that you just mentioned. And I think overall, there's a huge opportunity here to start a business and to begin your own operation and to become independent, if you will, and being your own boss. So with that, I saw the opportunity here in Central PA, a lot of growth, a lot of potential here. And that's a part of what moved me up here from Texas to Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, I'm certainly glad to hear that you feel at home and that you like it. What is it like working for Comcast? And I want to share why I'm asking you. From my perspective, Comcast has been absolutely tremendous in always including the Hispanic community, reaching out, making sure that they're working with us on programs like this one to give the community the resources they need, and so many other amazing things. So from my perspective, I've loved it. From the inside, what has your experience been like?
Yeah, great question. I do a lot of research when I'm looking at becoming a part of a business, right? Because I'm wanting to accept them as my family or as my group of friends. Because at the end of the day, you're working 40 plus hours with these individuals, right? And so with Comcast, I did quite a bit of research. And for me personally, I spoke to a few people that were already in with Comcast. And that really was the key factor of staying and becoming a part of Comcast business family, if you will. Because there was a lot of loyalty and there was a lot of influence when it came to building your own book of business. They were very accepting of others outside of your own personal thoughts and beliefs. They're inclusive. And one thing that I really found true is that they do believe in the community. They do believe supporting the community, whether it's Habitat for Humanity or a local Latino cause, or Comcast RISE as a business. Honestly, just to serve and to be a part of the community, that's what really drew me. I actually came up here on the veterans program, where their goal was to hire 2018 veterans by 2018. Well, they superseded that. And in 2019, when I chose to come up here, their goal was also 2022 by 2022. And so before the pandemic hit. Well, that actually rings true within the RISE program. You know, they have a goal to meet 13,000 small businesses to assist them by 2022. And I think putting out those goals, one, sets an example for others to follow. And then two, it gets involved with the community. So going back to your question, I love the community aspect of Comcast business. And I love the fact that they're putting a lot of not just money, but effort and putting and getting out to the community and reaching out to those that obviously have been impacted by the pandemic.
You know what? That is the perfect answer that I was looking for, because that's exactly how I feel about Comcast and what I've seen from the outside. You know, I don't work for Comcast, but I work with Comcast. They're a member of the chamber. They've always been very active. So I just wanted to add that. I am not being paid to say this.
Right.
But I love you guys, and that's also a really good segue into talking about the program. Just for our viewers, a little bit of background. Recently, as you know, small businesses have been dealing with the ongoing impact of the pandemic, social unrest, and environmental events. Small businesses owned by people of color have been some of the hardest hit. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, between February and April of 2020, Latinx businesses declined by 32%. 32%. That is huge. And the numbers are just as bad for some of the other underestimated groups. So the Comcast RISE program was created to invest in the success of these critical businesses by providing valuable and practical support. So that's my little intro. But Michael, you are really, you know, the professional in this. You've been working on this program. Why don't you give us a little rundown of how you view the program?
Yeah, absolutely. So the key point for me personally, not just in my own personal life, but in my professional life as well, is opportunity, right? The word opportunity, finding where opportunity presents itself. And to me, Comcast RISE is just one of those things for those that have started their own business, that are a part of the BIPOC community. My goodness, this is an opportunity for you to excel, for you to grow your business, for you to have influence within the community, as well as provide services to the community. So the goal of Comcast RISE is to provide those that are small businesses and they're owned by people of color and nationwide in order to have some sort of marketing support and technology support. So again, you mentioned early on just some of those stats, and those are staggering stats, how much we've lost because of the pandemic. Well, our goal for Comcast RISE is to support those of BIPOC, of course, within the BIPOC community, and to be able to help grow the small businesses within the community. And I think that's so vital, especially since, within the United States, our backbone of society has always been an entrepreneurship focused part of our society. And so with that, I believe in the goal of Comcast RISE is being able to support those. And again, early on, like I said, to be able to provide 13,000, man, that's just a great number. 13,000 people that own small businesses by 2022. It just lines up with what they did with the veteran program. And now we're getting our hands into the community to support that and to help that growth as well. And so, Melanie, I really appreciate those numbers that you spouted off just a minute ago. I think that's great. I think it really just shows that how inclusive and how involved we are in the community.
Yeah, definitely. I could not agree more. And just looking at this program, from my perspective, I work with small businesses all the time. I was a small business owner up until recently, partially because of the pandemic. And these resources that you guys are offering through this program are tremendous. Do you want to talk a little bit? We will get into what those resources are, but how you narrowed down what help you guys thought businesses needed that you were going to contribute to elevate them and, bring them back after the pandemic.
Yeah, great question. And I think one of the ways that I'll lead into that is of course the eligibility requirements, right? We always have to have some sort of requirement, making sure that you fit within the guidelines as well and giving everyone a chance. So we're about 51%, we ask that you're about 51% owned and operated by a person of color. You are independently owned and operated, and you're registered to conduct business within the United States. And you've at least been operating for about a year now. And also you're located within Comcast business footprint. I'm happy to help you figure that out if that's necessary, but we'll be able to sort that out as well as a whole. But a couple of things that we will provide, right? Selected businesses that they can receive one or more of the following, which is a small business consultation. We evaluate your business in your current marketing plan and create an actionable items for you to move forward, to take those next steps, to elevate, to rise, to help your business rise, hence the word Comcast RISE. The other thing we're looking at doing is creative media consultation. Now there is a 30-second TV commercial that you can apply for, plus a media strategy consultation, and that will actually happen within about 90 days of media placement within the schedule that's allotted. And then the third thing, or one of the three other things, is technology makeover, right? Oh my goodness. The computer requirement and internet is absolutely necessary within today's business. You can't operate without electricity, without water, and now without the internet. Well, what Comcast is looking at doing is providing the equipment and internet services. And oftentimes it's going to be voice, cybersecurity as well, and internet for 12 months. So if you haven't applied for this or you're considering to apply for this within the Latin community, and you meet the requirements, please just jump in, apply, reach out. If you have questions, happy to answer any of those questions as well.
So like I said, guys, with the PPP, I said so many times, it does not hurt to apply. And if you don't apply, you can never get it. Comcast spent a lot of time, and I know they did a lot of research into what businesses need to get back on their feet after the pandemic. And these are amazing places to start with the consulting, with the media. That could be ads over a 90-day period, creative production, technology makeover, and even possible monetary grants. You do not have a chance if you don't apply. It is a very easy and quick application process. Do you want to talk a little bit, Michael, about how long it takes people to apply and what they need?
Yep. So again, we talked a little bit about the requirements. Now, as far as jumping in and doing the application process, we're handing out quite a bit over the next few months. What you'll need is first is just apply through the RISE program, and there'll be a link here in a little bit. And then, of course, they're going to take time to figure out whom is going to be awarded and chosen. And so within about 3 to 6 months, you'll be able to have an answer and what programming and what of the consultation services, whether it's a technology makeover, what you've been awarded. So the process is it's not hard. It's very simple. Go online to the ComcastRISE.com and you'll be able to have some assistance with the application process as well.
I love that. I was making sure to throw some things in the chat. So everything that Michael detailed, so there is a link to the about. There are the eligibility requirements. There are a bunch of things right there in the chat so that you can kind of pay attention a little bit to that as we keep chatting. So also, if you guys need some help with the application, you can feel free to reach out to me and I can speak with Mike. I can speak with Jennifer, who's going to be on later, and we will help you through the process. So we are actually going to be partnering to make sure that our local Latino businesses are applying for that. We want to make sure that you get through that application process. And then once you do, Michael, I want to ask you, so many people, as they're thinking, okay, am I really going to apply for another thing? I know so many people were disappointed after the PPP. What is the acceptance process like? And if people meet those requirements, what are their odds of actually getting in and getting these resources?
It's to what their odds are. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to answer directly what those odds are. And if I put out a number out there, I honestly don't want I don't want Comcast to come back and ask me that question. So my thought is one, this is an opportunity, right? This is a great opportunity for anyone in the Latino community, honestly, to take this opportunity in order to help grow your business. If your business has been affected by it, my goodness, this is a helping hand. This is an additional helping hand. And honestly, not only that you have this chapter that you can reach out to, again, you also have Comcast RISE that is providing this help and this assistance. So as far as chances go, I don't have that number directly, and I can actually take that back if you'd like and ask that Comcast.
What I wanted to highlight was, I've had some conversations with some of the people at Comcast, and it is specifically for businesses that really need help. And I know so many people were disappointed because they had this huge process for the PPP and they didn't get it. And from what I'm hearing, from what I'm discussing, this is not one of those things that you're going to spend a lot of time on just to be turned down. First of all, it's very quick and easy. And second of all, if you meet those requirements, I know that your odds are going to be good. Of course, not everyone's going to get it, but if you don't try, you'll never know. So I just want to make sure that people are being encouraged to apply. But Michael, I know that you had a video that you wanted to share, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's one of our winners as well, and it just showcases. It's just about a minute. Do you have that, or would you like me to share that?
I got it. Let me pull it up. All right, let's see the video. Let me just oops. There we go.
I'm so thankful.
Oh,
It's mind changing, and I really appreciate what Comcast did.
Michael, I'm so sorry. You said that the video was muted, right?
Yes, it was muted. We couldn't hear it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a link to it in the chat. I could hear it on my side, so I kind of just assumed that you guys could hear it. I apologize for that. So I am just going to grab that right from YouTube. It was a great story. And actually, I just heard as well that El Sabor Latin Kitchen is a local winner that was recently selected. Thank you all for letting me know about the sound. I just put that link in the chat. But I was looking at some of the success stories. Mike, do you want to just tell us a little bit about people who have gotten accepted to the program and maybe one of your favorite success stories from it so far?
Yeah, absolutely. So far there's about 422 cities with winners, right? And then of course our goal again is 13,000. So if you subtract that, there's quite a bit out there that we need to reach by 2022. So with that, again, the opportunity is here. And one of the success stories, honestly, is the video that was shown. That's a local Pittsburgh person who has won. I would honestly check that link out and take a look at it. You're more than welcome to reach out to us and ask us, in-depth questions about the program, because we're here to help. And we're here to be an assistance. And again, our goal is to bring about 13,000 within 13,000 small businesses and to assist them by 2022. And with only 422, now 423 with the other group that just won, you have a great chance of winning.
I could not agree more. Well, is there anything else that you would like to highlight before we bring Jennifer in to discuss some other things?
Honestly, the takeaway is this is an opportunity, right? Within the Latino community, this is a huge opportunity. I think there's a lot of support backing it. Comcast is a large corporation, and they're providing quite a bit of support here. And there's folks like us that are here just to help you out. Jennifer as well, who you'll get to meet here in just a moment. We're here to assist and help out wherever we can. So happy to answer any further questions later on. Thanks, Melanie.
Yeah, well, before we wrap up, I want to say, guys, like you said, this is a tremendous opportunity. These are the things that so many times small businesses need, but they cannot invest in, especially right now as we're recovering from the pandemic. Consulting, media ads, creative production, even the monetary grant, the technology makeover. These are all things that will really affect your bottom line. But as you are, spending money on the things that you need right now to keep operations up might be in the back of your mind. So let Comcast come in, help you with these items, put in an application. I would be happy to help you walk through it. I know as well as Michael. So like you said, this is a tremendous opportunity, and I hope you all take advantage. As Jennifer comes in, I will share also the application link in the chat, but there are plenty of links in there for you guys to check out. So next up, we are going to be welcoming Jennifer Clunan. She's the Director of External and Governmental Affairs with Comcast. She leads the franchising, advocacy, and external affair endeavors for Comcast's Keystone region in parts of Western Pennsylvania and Ohio. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Melanie. Hi, Michael.
Hey, it is so good to have you. Thank you for being a longtime partner of the Chamber. You've just been a wonderful resource for us, and we are thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you, Melanie, so much. I'm thrilled to be on the heels of Michael. I don't know that I can quite follow that, but I wanted to share some other information about our commitment to digital equity inclusion that I think that your membership will particularly care about and can help us amplify further. So what Michael's talking about with the Comcast RISE program is actually part of a bigger play that as a company, Comcast has announced that we will invest over $1 billion over the next 10 years to help further close the digital divide and give even more low-income Americans access to the tools and resources they need to succeed in this increasingly digital world.
That is amazing. $1 billion. That's amazing.
And some of those programs besides Comcast RISE include the Internet Essentials program, which most people are familiar with, but I'm going to take 30 seconds and kind of re-commercial it anyway, because I would ask everybody watching to think of somebody that they know that might benefit from this. So we don't want people driving to McDonald's and logging onto the Wi-Fi at 9 o'clock at night and, handing their kid their phone in the back seat to do homework. The best learning takes place in the home. So we have the Internet Essentials program, which puts high-speed internet in the customer's home for $9.95 a month. That is for low-income qualifying Americans in any area that Comcast is a service provider. And they get it for $9.95 a month, and we will actually pay for the first 2 months for free. This product is fast enough that you can have 4 children simultaneously doing video and Teams calls with their school, with their teachers at the same time, because I know that's always a concern, is it fast enough? This is a great product, not just for children, but for veterans, for senior citizens, for anyone who needs a telehealth visit, for people who are job searching, for people who are applying for unemployment benefits. This is for anybody who qualifies as low income and is not a current Comcast customer. So I'm going to make sure that Melanie gets those links also to drop it in chat. And I'm also going to drop the Spanish language version of it too. So if any of folks that need to apply for it or want to apply, we also have it available in Spanish. And we do have Spanish speaking call workers that can take your call.
Sorry, Jennifer, my light fell during your talk.
Oh, goodness.
It's funny how these things go, but no, that is absolutely amazing. The program is so great. How did this come about, and how long have you guys been doing the Internet Essentials program? Is it new to the pandemic?
No, it's actually not. It just kind of has gotten more traction at the right time. We've actually had Internet Essentials in play for 10 years. And during those 10 years, we've connected more than 10 million families to the internet across the country. So it's been a really exciting opportunity. We've gotten more people than ever on the internet. And it is perfectly timed for when folks really had to switch to quarantine learning and quarantine working. We worked, I know I personally worked very closely with a lot of school districts, including the McKeesport School District, Ambridge, and the Pittsburgh Public Schools, so that they were aware of the product. And in the case of the Pittsburgh Public Schools, they actually entered into a contract with us where they're paying for the Internet Essentials program to be in the home. So if anybody out there knows somebody who's got a Pittsburgh Public Schools student in their family and they're low income and are not currently connected to the internet, they need to call the school, say Internet Essentials, and they'll get them hooked up within a week to the internet. Melanie, you're on mute.
This sounds like a program that has been so vital to so many. Internet, was so essential during the pandemic, and it always is. I think it just magnified that. So going forward, I'm so glad to be able to bring more visibility to it. For those of you who are looking for more information, I did put the link down in the comments. Jennifer, so we talked a little bit about Internet Essentials. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about lift zones. Tell us, most people don't even know what that term means. Can you explain it a little bit?
Sure. So as part of our $1 billion commitment to, closing digital divide and really making digital equity something that everyone experiences, we've realized that, hey, not everybody like myself is sitting at home working during the day and can have their kids learning at the same time. The children in particular need safe learning spaces. So Comcast is reaching out to community centers, rec centers, even churches that run after school programs, and we're putting lift zones in these spaces. So let me explain what a lift zone is. It's our commitment to provide 1 gigabit Wi-Fi speed, which is really fast. It's like 4 times faster than I have in my house, okay? 1 gigabit Wi-Fi speed for 3 years that we will pay for. We'll do the wiring, we'll hook it up, and they've got that in the community center, in the rec center, anywhere that children are out of school time and a nonprofit is running that entity. So it can't be in a government building, a school, or a library. But for example, I've recently worked with the Coriopolis Youth Center, who operates their out of school time program inside a Methodist church in Coriopolis. That's completely fine. We've worked with the Best of the Batch Foundation. We're working with the Jasmine Tyree Center up in the Sheridan neighborhood, as well as many Allegheny County Housing Authority sites where we can have this in place. So this is another opportunity for people, not just children, but adults, to be able to go and get on the internet, get connected, do the telehealth visit, do the schoolwork, do learning, stay connected to their families, both locally as well as abroad.
I love that this offers solutions for both community and at home, because those who even can't get at home or maybe don't want to apply, they still need those visits. I know, especially my grandma, I begged her to get internet, and she didn't, but knowing that she has access is amazing. Why don't you, my little one just came in, so why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the other funding that is out there and other ways that you're participating in the community?
Sure. And so, Melanie, one more thing on the lift zones before I pivot to something else, and that is that we're doing 1,000 of these nationwide, 1,000. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty competitive. So as many of these that I can have in our region, I want it. So I am taking suggestions. If you or somebody else knows of a nonprofit that could benefit from this, even if they already have internet at their location, I still want to talk to them. Community centers, different organizations, churches, anywhere where people are gathering and they need Wi-Fi, please send Melanie a note and she can forward it on to me and we will investigate it. But beyond that, I want to pivot a little bit to something new that's come down from the federal government. You may have heard EBB, or the Emergency Broadband Benefit Program, and that's a temporary subsidy that the federal government has put out to help connect low-income families also. It's a $50 per month benefit for families that they can put toward their internet. So if you are somebody who already has Internet Essentials, you can sign up and use that $50 a month credit towards this, which therefore makes your internet free. So this is a pretty good benefit. If you want to, use it to move to a higher speed, you can do that. It has to be used towards internet and you have to sign up for it. But I'm going to make sure Melanie has that link also so if people can investigate it and see if they qualify for it. You don't have to use all 50. If you only need $25 of it, use $25, but you don't get another $25 back in the mail from the federal government. But they are making it all these ways and opportunities for people to be connected a lot easier and more on point for learning in the home. Mute. Melanie, you're on mute.
Sorry, this is the time for glitches, right?
I totally understand.
But my internet is still working, right? So I have Comcast. I love my Comcast. I love working with you guys. And I love that you're doing this work to make sure that the community can thrive. So you're making sure that our students can learn, parents can work, and that businesses can thrive. You guys are really touching all the bases, and we're so appreciative. But I want to learn a little bit about, so those programs, you talked about what they do, but not quite who qualifies and how to qualify. What are some of the basics and where can people get the rest of that information?
Sure. So on the Internet Essentials program, need to qualify as low income and not be a current Comcast Xfinity internet customer within the past 90 days. So someone couldn't be a Verizon internet customer and suddenly they could cancel theirs, but you can't be our customer, cancel it, and then try to sign up. You'd have to have a 90-day separation. Cancel your Verizon if you want, cancel anything else, but you can't be our current customer. To qualify as low income, there are about 20 different ways, and we have that on the website for Internet Essentials. But some of the most basic ones that people think of are, do you have a child enrolled in the National Student Free or Reduced Breakfast or Lunch Program? Do you live in public housing or receive a public housing subsidy? Are you receiving Social Security or disability benefits? These are just some of the ways. SNAP benefits, Medicaid. It's really been expanded. And when this program started 10 years ago, it was only available for families with a child. We've expanded that in the past 2 years to include low-income veterans. Then we expanded for senior citizens. Now we've expanded just anybody that qualifies as low income because we see that commitment. We see how important it is. We see people need it more than ever. I believe that digital equity and inclusion is no longer just a want or something on your wish list. It is a bona fide need. So I would encourage people to try it out, to investigate it. And if you can't remember, the link or something like that, I guarantee if you go into the search engine of your choice and put in Internet Essentials, it's going to be the first thing that pops up. Now, moving on to lift zones, eligibility there, we need to be working with a nonprofit entity, but it can be a nonprofit entity that is maybe renting space from a for-profit entity, right? With aftercare, things I talked about, examples might be YMCAs in low-income areas that have an after-school program or a childcare program. Something that would not qualify, though, is kinder care. While that is taking care of children, that is a for-profit business. So if someone has a daycare in their home, that doesn't qualify because that's their own personal business. We need to have a nonprofit partner, and there needs to be someone there who is proctoring, providing a safe space for the children in particular who are there. So it can't be just unlocking a room in a building and leaving. But we can do it for a Wi-Fi live zone for as few as 10 students. If you need to serve 500 people, we can do that as long as it's in our service area and you meet those other requirements, which are also outlined on the website.
So is that only specifically places that serve children or students, or would that go for somewhere that serves businesses and entrepreneurs as well?
We are expanding that a bit, but it still has to qualify as a nonprofit that is operating it. But yes, we are expanding that. Some examples might be Nova Place, Collab 18. Those are places that are nonprofit, but helping small businesses. We're actually working with Homewood Children's Village, which is putting their space in the shop, which actually is a for-profit. So there are some different ways to do it. It doesn't have to be just confined to children. We're doing work with veterans locations also. So I don't want to discourage anybody. I'd rather you send it to me and let me tell you, no, we can't. It's not going to hurt to send me a quick email on the matter.
Absolutely. And part of our partnership together, I want to make sure to reach out to our partners. And if you guys have anyone in mind, you don't even need to do the work. You can always send it our way and we will do the work. If you have a list in mind, you can always email chamber@PMAHCC and we will be sure to get the word out there. I want to bring Mike back in because I just want to have a little bit of dialogue about why we think these programs are so important. I know we've talked a lot about it, Jennifer, but I would love to get Mike's input as well as why diversity and inclusion is important in all aspects and just have a little bit of conversation about some of these topics that are important to the community. Michael, do you want to touch a little bit on some of the programs that Jennifer was talking about and your opinions and your experiences with how they help the community?
Michael, you're on mute.
We're a dynamic trio here, aren't we? So absolutely. If you think about it, and this is kind of how my mind works. One, if you're in a low income housing, there doesn't mean that there's no opportunities for you to succeed, right? So to succeed, you could reach out to Jennifer and be able to have internet at $9.95 per month, apply for a couple of government assisted programs to help pay for that as well. Start your own business within that year or two, right? Step into the Latino community within Pittsburgh that you're a part of maybe already. Submit an application to the Comcast RISE program by 2022. And you've got your own business started within less than 5 years. And so for me, at the end of the day, this is just a huge opportunity to be more inclusive, right? To heal some of the wounds that we have within the United States and to help grow the United States as a whole. Especially with the entrepreneurship program that Pittsburgh is opening up and a part of. And so to me personally, entrepreneurship is a huge win. Starting your own business is a great opportunity. And so there is always an opportunity to improve yourself and to grow within the community. And I think this just shows, one, what Comcast is doing to help do that, as well as it gives you an opportunity to be able to put your future in your own hands.
I made sure to unmute first. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think that seeing corporations step up and, help the community. So many people have this view of large corporations that they just make money and keep going and they don't give a whim to the community. And in my experience, Comcast has been very different. Jennifer, do you want to touch on that a little bit about kind of the corporate atmosphere and view on community?
Sure. And I'm going to weave a little bit of a personal view on it too, is that, as Michael's talking about why these things are important to us. But to me, it's also important as a woman who works at Comcast, as somebody in the government affairs team, for the following reasons. I'm the mother of a child of a different race who was adopted from another country. So I'm the mother. I am an American citizen born in America, but who is the mother of an immigrant. So I look at things through that prism also. And I think about the opportunities that she has by being in our country and how I want her to grow. And I think about my own childhood where, frankly, I would have qualified for Internet Essentials if it had been around back then. I know that we would not have been able to afford internet. We would need that program. And how could I have succeeded? How could I even turn in my homework right now if I didn't have that program? And then I think about, the kids that are eventually going to sit in these seats, Melanie's, Michael's, and mine, and have these jobs. We need them to be tech savvy. We need them to know how to go find things. We need them to have that access as early as possible. I mean, I'm older than anybody else here probably, but I didn't send my first email until I was in graduate school. And the world has changed dramatically since then. I don't even know what's ahead. Nobody does. So that's why it's important to have these tools there. And I'm proud that Comcast thinks that way, that thinks about, wait a minute, this isn't just about, us doing something that makes us look good in a press release. This is a genuine commitment. And seeing that by doing this, we are training the people that eventually we hope come to work at Comcast and lead us to even, brighter days ahead.
Oh, Jennifer, that is beautiful. I love that. And I want to add to that, touching on people's view of corporations and not helping the community. If the community is not thriving, our corporations aren't thriving. And they know that. But Comcast, like when I work with Jennifer, she's always, what do you need? How can I help? Really embedded in the community and in doing the right thing. Michael, since you're newer to Pittsburgh, do you want to talk a little bit about what your experience has been in interacting with the community and how Comcast has been able to change some lives?
Well, a little correction there. I actually live in Harrisburg.
Oh my gosh, my bad. I meant Pennsylvania. I keep saying Pittsburgh. Because
we won't hold that against you.
Well, won't we? No, I'm just kidding.
As long as he's a Steelers fan.
Oh man, I come from Texas, so I might be putting myself out there. But anyway. So,
I almost removed him from the thing, Jennifer, just so you know. I came really close, but I was like, it's not professional.
We will not talk sports at this point. But anyways, so, honestly, being involved actually in Harrisburg within the Latin community here as well, I mean, again, opportunity. I'm going to say that word over and over again. And it's been great getting involved with the community here at Harrisburg. I've heard great success stories from Pittsburgh. Melanie, you brought up a couple already. And so I think, with some of the stats and the statistics that we've got going on right now, and our focus, it is a great opportunity for us to be more involved. It's a great opportunity for us to connect. And it's a great opportunity for us to get back into normal, right? Get back into the normalcy of everything. And so I'm super excited what Comcast has going on. I'm super excited about the support in the community, as well as the veterans program that we have. And so we are not turning a blind eye, if you will, for lack of a better words, to not assist, to not help grow. And so being a large corporation, don't be afraid of Comcast, right? Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask what opportunities are out there, because there are people much like Jennifer and Melanie and myself that are here to support and lend a helping hand and do what we can to help succeed, everyone succeed, and also to help bring us back to a sense of normalcy.
Mike, we have a little comment for you. Mike needs to visit Pittsburgh.
I'll be there. Just any point in time, I'm happy to come down.
Well, you're so right on so many levels, and that's one of the reasons I always love talking to you guys. I feel like we're all always on the same page and just wanting to move things forward in a positive direction for everyone. I'm sorry that I forgot earlier to ask both of you if for all of these programs it matters if people are currently with Comcast, or specifically, so first for Jennifer, for the internet, what was it? The free
Internet Essentials?
Comcast. Yeah, for the Internet Essentials, I know like where some people live, they can't get Comcast. Can you speak a little bit to that and how that affects people, what service area they're in and things like that? And then Mike will come to you for the RISE program.
Yeah, they do need to be in a Comcast service area to take advantage of Internet Essentials, or for us to put in a lift zone. On the emergency broadband benefit, which I sent the link to you, Melanie, if you put that in the chat, you can use that for any provider. Of course, I hope you use it for Comcast, but you don't have to. So if we unfortunately are not in your service area, you could use that up to $50 a month benefit with any internet provider of your choice.
Beautiful. I took a second because I'm trying to put it in the chat.
and Melanie, if I can add one thing, I know that especially in our immigrant communities, we've had some concerns expressed by folks on not wanting to sign up because they're a little nervous. We do not ask for social security numbers. We don't do that kind of documentation or anything like that. We just want every single person to be connected to the internet, hopefully with us, but if not, just get connected. So please don't let any fear, whether it's with the RISE program, lift zones, Internet Essentials, emergency broadband, please do not let that be a barrier to you. If you are concerned about it, or you have a friend or family member's concerned, call me, call Mike, and we'll see what we can do to help allay those fears or talk you through it.
And I will absolutely connect you guys with them. Just chamber at PMAHCC. I'm happy to help. And that is really amazing to know that whether you're documented or undocumented, these programs are available to you. You don't need to have fear. There will be no reporting anywhere. We just want to see everyone succeed and help everyone where we can.
That's absolutely true. We are not part of some big brother scheme or anything like that. We just want to get everybody on the internet no matter where they are.
I love that. Well, Michael, what about for the Comcast RISE program? Do people have to have Comcast? Do they have to live in a Comcast area? And again, any other requirement things that you want to add that we might have not touched on?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So again, we'd love for you to already be with Comcast. That'd be great. But if not, we're not going to hold that against you, right? You do at least need to be operating had a business for about a year. Another one of the requirements is about 51% has to be owned and operated by a person of color. You also have to operate independently. You do land within the Comcast business footprint, and we can figure that out with you. It's not hard. And then, of course, you're registered to conduct business within the United States. And that's it. I can send those requirements out to you, Melanie. That's not hard. But yeah, it's that simple.
So we actually had those in the chat earlier for anyone. You just might need to scroll up a little bit. I also just put in the link to apply. And if you guys don't mind, I would love to share my screen just so anybody watching can just see. If you're like intimidated to click on the link, we can just look at that really quick.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Melanie, too, because I think once you go to it, you see it's actually pretty easy to apply. And when Mike was talking about allowed to conduct business in the United States, that really goes to the questions kind of near the top on employee identification number. So your business does need to be registered. It does need to have a tax ID number. And so that's one of the requirements. But I would draw everybody's attention to the fact, and Melanie, feel free to put it up, that you'll see the lines that have, or the boxes that have asterisks, you do need to fill in. The ones that don't have asterisks, you don't have to fill in. But if you are unsure on how to answer something, please don't let that prohibit you from moving forward. Just ask. That's what we're here for. We want to make this as easy as possible, but it's okay, if you're not used to answering these questions before. And if you say that, are you a current Comcast Xfinity internet customer, and you click no, that's okay too. We're just asking because if, for example, if somebody says, yes, I'm a current customer, that already satisfies, yes, they live in our service territory. So then we know it just cuts a step out on our end.
Yes, no, I couldn't agree more. As you guys are seeing, I hope that you're reading through some of these. I just want to go to the top. This is just basic information about yourself, where your business is, what your heritage is, if you're virtual, physical. I mean, these are basic questions about your business. You don't need to have your books. You don't need to have your accountant. This is not complicated, as simple as your URLs. At this point, there's nothing that you've had to think about. It's just factual information, when you were established. These are, again, very simple questions. And these are just some things. These questions here, they might seem intimidating, like, oh, if I don't have a 30-second commercial, I won't be able to do this. No, these are really just so that they can figure out what will suit you best, what will help your business the most. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that before we move on?
Sure. So if, for example, there's a business owner is watching right now that's like, oh, I do have a commercial. That's great. We'll be able to take a look at it and potentially put that on the air for you at no charge. If you don't have a commercial, that's when the people that are on our end who are reviewing the applications like, oh, this might be a great candidate for us to do a commercial for. So you can see there's an upside regardless of which way you go on that. Mike, did you want to talk a little bit about the maximum amount of income or profits that a company can have, or anything to that effect, or the number of employees?
Yeah,
really quick before Mike, you go, I want to say you guys, I'm going to take this away, but that was the whole application. Like, that was everything. It was, tell us about yourself. How can we help you? And that's basically it. Honestly, I think that you could get through this in no more than 10 minutes. But how long do you guys think? 10 minutes is plenty, right?
Yes. If it's taking you more than 20 minutes because you're stuck on something, that's the time to reach for help. Please don't feel that you're writing a college essay or anything like that, or even the scariest professor you ever had is going to review this. We're here to help. The people who are reviewing it want to select you. We're not trying to not select you. We're trying to select you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another thing too to add to that is that the technology makeover, I think that's a great piece to the program if you think about it. I mean, everyone needs a laptop. Everyone needs internet connection. For a business, you need voice, right? You got to be able to talk to your customers. And another thing that they've added is the cybersecurity. I mean, there's how many stories out there of people getting hacked and businesses going down or going under because of it. I mean, you're going to get a 12-month 12-month program, a part of this, computer, internet, equipment, voice, as well as cybersecurity to protect your business. So we thought outside the box, not just of what you need, but also a little bit outside the box, which is cybersecurity as well. So,
and Mike, if I can jump in there, let me just give a really quick lowbrow example of what a tech makeover may include. Everyone remember that when all the restaurants were closed during quarantine and everyone was panicking, myself included, because I need a break from cooking sometime for these children. And then restaurants were allowed to open, but only for carryout. A lot of those restaurants were suddenly like, oh, how are they going to order online? Or, if you go to a small business and they have like that little square on top of the cash register to zip a card through, those types of things are technology makeovers. So they can be very easy little tweaks that can really help a business grow, or they can be more in-depth things. And that's why, as Mike pointed to, that commercial that we provided Melanie, that woman gives a great illustration of the things that have changed since she became a Comcast RISE recipient.
That is amazing. I do hope that everyone checks that out. I did put that link over in the comments, which, speaking of the comments, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type away. I feel like we've gone into so much detail and given so many resources that I don't think there will be many, but I did put up a few just nice comments that people said that it's really helpful, and we want to continue being helpful. So if you guys have any questions later, feel free to email. You can always comment here. We will see those. And I will refer anything that I don't have answers to Jennifer and Mike. But we are getting towards time. So before we go, first, Mike, would you like to leave everyone with some thoughts or highlight your favorite piece, whatever you would like for people to take away?
Yeah, absolutely. So the takeaway that I'm going to quote here is opportunity, right? Take the opportunity to fill this out. Take the opportunity to step into the Comcast RISE program. Take the opportunity for us to assist you and to build your business, to consult on your business. Take the opportunity to have a technology makeover. And my goodness, if you have already, you've dreamed up a commercial and what you want it to look like, take the opportunity to apply for that. Step out and help build the communities back up where you're at, and let us assist you to build your business either back up or to just start out within 2 years. Of course, obviously, most businesses fail within 2. Well, let us come and assist you during that time and help you succeed, help you be successful for 5 years or more. So take the opportunity. That's what I would say is to take the opportunity to be a part of not just Comcast, but a part of the community program as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Comcast wants to help you succeed. That is a great line. Jennifer, what would you like people to take away?
Sure. So I would like to ask everyone on here to kind of become a champion of digital equity and inclusion. If you're watching this right now, you know how to access the internet, but I'd like you to think about somebody in your life or your neighborhood, customer, community, a church member who is not on the internet. And ask yourself, why is that? What are they missing out on? Is there an opportunity for you to educate them on what could happen in their lives? We find that customers that even when they do have access, even when it's low cost, even when it's free, they are scared. They're not used to the technology. And this is a particularly problem area for us with school children who still don't have internet access in the city of Pittsburgh, where they could, like I said before, be having it actually for free in low-income families. It's because the parents or the grandparents are not used to using the internet. I want to tell you that if you are an Internet Essentials customer, it comes with digital literacy training. It's very easy. It goes through it step by step, makes you feel more comfortable getting on the internet. So talk to them about the wonderful things that have changed in your life since you've got on the internet, whether that's expanding your business, connecting with a faith group, connecting with buddies that you were in the Marines with, anything like that. If it's Skyping with someone across the world, share those positive experiences with them and help bring them along.
Oh, that is wonderful. I want to share really quick in the chat here about your digital literacy program. I had not heard of that before. Digital literacy. That way you guys can all have the link. There is a typo in that, but the link is correct. Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing. And Michael, you as well. These resources, I think, are things that can be pivotal for the community, for education, for business, even, for human interaction, especially for those, like you said, who maybe are elderly and not used to using the internet. We want to reach everyone and give everyone the opportunities they need to connect, learn, and prosper. And Comcast is doing that every day in the community. So thank you guys for everything you've done. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you, Melanie.
And thank all of you guys for watching. I want to highlight, we actually have an event on Thursday at Fogo de Chao downtown. It's from 5 to 8, and it is a happy hour event. We're going to have discounts on cocktails. We'll be having hors d'oeuvres and just kind of, getting back into networking, being around people, just enjoying each other's company and getting back to getting to know each other in person, right? We're so used to doing these things on here, but it feels good to see people in person, as we're finding out. The Latino Pittsburgh Digital Speaker Series is an initiative of the Pittsburgh Metropolitan Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Its goals are to share relevant information, inspire growth, and foster opportunity. Speakers and workshops include community leaders and members, as well as other individuals and programs that have a positive impact on not only the Hispanic community, but Pittsburgh as a region. If you would like to become a speaker, please email chamber@pmahcc.org. And you can also visit our website if you'd like to learn more, become a member, a partner, sponsor a program, or just get to know some new people. Thank you for watching and have a great day. We'll see you next week.